Well, hey everyone, welcome back.
Yes.
How's it going?
Good.
Pretty good. Lovely.
What's new and exciting out there? Anything? What am I missing? I have FOMO.
You're not missing much over here.
Nah?
Nah,
What do you
not
got?
really.
Status quo?
Yeah, kinda. It's been a little quiet this past week or so, week or two.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been picking up a little bit over here, but I mean, it's nothing gangbusters, but definitely better than it was before. We were pretty slow there for a bit.
I'm clearly seeing like a change between new constructions to remodels. Basically, everything that I'm getting now is like remodels.
So light on the new construction,
Yeah,
a little bit more remodel stuff.
yeah. Builders, they're getting conservative at this point.
Yeah, I haven't seen much in the way of new construction either over here,
Mostly remodels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of like replacements, like old, rickety, junky, broken down shower enclosures. You want frameless ones.
Mhm.
But that's tricky, because it's like sometimes you don't have much to work with, once you take the old one out. And, always have to kind of educate people on the fact that once we take this old shower enclosure out, I mean, there's no telling what it's going to look like under there.
Mhm.
Can't you clean it?
Well,
You guys,
yeah, clean it.
Yeah.
yeah, gotta cool. You guys charge it?
What's that now?
No, you guys charge for remove the old unit?
That's a good question. I always have.
Included.
Yeah, it's if you know that there's one in that's gonna come out, yeah, I just kind of figured in the price, right, Tim?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you look at it and see how bad it is, you know how bad what you charge for it.
Now,
What
do
I
you charge a flat rate, or do you charge kind of based on size and panels?
Yeah,
I
size.
have
I just figure, it's a door and panel. I figure so much, and if they've kept it up. If the old one has been kept up, it's not that bad. But when it's
When they're not, ooh, oh
it's
boy,
all grungy,
there's nothing worse than that, man.
and it's leaked over the years, and somebody went and got some whatever from Home Depot and tried to go over the top of it, and
Once you unlock that smell too, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I have a flat rate for 125 for door and panel. In additional panel, you'll charge 50 more on the top of that.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you got to pack it down. You got to bring it back to shop. You got to get rid of it, and
Yeah.
We don't uninstall at all. We refer to a handyman. And our story there is, here's a handyman. You should have this uninstalled before we get out there to bring out your new shower. You're going to want to see what's underneath there. You're going to want to find out if there's discoloration, holes, anything else. You're going to need to fix it. And, he's a great handyman. You probably have other things going on. If it's time to replace the shower, it might be time to check out your tile and everything else. And, he's going to be a great source for you. Let us know when he's done. We don't
I
want to
love
do
it.
Good.
So now, do you have somebody that you refer?
Yeah, we have two people that we really like. It took a while to, find those two people, but even though we really like them and everything, it's like these are separate people, so they're not part of our team. We've got good referrals, or we've got good feedback, but yeah, we do still say we're not responsible for their work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So is there a story behind how that happened? I have a feeling there is.
Well, just a variety of them. There was one guy, I guess the closest to a story. My husband went out to uninstall Mike, and he uninstalls and he finds this giant crack. It's like a hole, and he's like, I can't put anything over here, and it's fiberglass. It was already a cheap install that we didn't want to do. And he's like, well, what do you mean? Well, this has to be fixed. Well, it was fine until you took it out, and what am I supposed to do now? Well, you're supposed to fix it. Call someone to. Well, it seems like you should be responsible for this. And Mike's like, no, I didn't know what was behind your shower. Well, why didn't you? You're the professional. You should have known what was back there. It was insane. And it's like, who needs it?
Wow.
But mostly you get into some of those showers and they always want you to clean it. They say they'll clean it before you come out to uninstall it. They won't. And what are you going to be like, an hour cleaning? So you could have gone out and installed a 180 or pretty close to it, or door and panel. How much are you going to charge for that? 125? No way. Is it worth 500? 1,000? I think the charge ought to be closer to 1,000 to do something like that.
Now, are most of your guys' removals older framed or semi-frameless units, or are you guys removing old frameless units and putting just kind of upgraded frameless back in? Like most of our removals are older semi-frameless.
Yeah, same.
Same here.
Okay.
And then we also don't want to, if we're putting frameless in there, they want to know if we're going to cover all the holes, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. How discolored is it going to be? Are you going to find cracks and stuff? Is it going to be prone to leakage, within there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to just throw some silicone in a hole and say that'll be fine. I want them responsible for
Sure.
their shower. And if they don't have any, and plus all the times that we go out there and we're bringing the shower and everything, all the previous times before we did this. So we've got everything and we go out there, uninstall, and then find out that there's some problem and we can't install. And what a waste. It's just the worst type of work to do. And so why bother?
I kind of agree, but we still do it.
Yeah. We have conversations about not doing mirrors, and I'd love to not do mirrors, but I still feel like I need to. So I get that comment for sure.
We're in the glass business.
Yeah.
That's kind of in that realm. So no, we do removals. We have quite a few, and and there are some occasions we get caught off guard a little bit, but we're pretty good up front letting customers know about discoloration and all that. We're good at patching. I use epoxy putties. And I go to Lowe's because they got a bigger stick and it's a little less, and it sets up very quickly. And it's in their plumbing section, and it's plumber's epoxy stick, fix-it stick. Works really well. And then I've got a color kit I've created. It's called Seam Fill, SEAMFIL. I guess it's a dash FIL. And it's acrylic colors, and they set up really fast.
Where do you find that at?
If you go online and Google it, you'll find it. And then they have their own retail store, I think, that's like American something. I can't remember the name of it, but I could find it, let you know.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would
Let's
be
go
really
there,
So
please.
in what I do is I get a bunch of their different colors and I can kind of blend it and do a pretty good job, especially anything that is not a solid color, you know, or a real glossy white is kind of harder to match. If it's really a bright glossy white, white silicone typically will work.
Mhm.
But setting the expectations. We had one of our meetings not long ago. We were talking about setting expectations, and we just have to tell customers, if you're looking for it, you can probably still see what we patch. But anything that's like a tan or brown that has tans in it, man, those things disappear. Those holes, you don't even know they were there. You just have to be careful. And fiberglass, the only thing we'll do on that's like a semi-frameless, a brand name shower door that has, the framing that you put onto the fiberglass, so that we're not doing a true frameless. And I can't say we're real good at doing a frame shower because we don't have a lot of practice at that. But if it's a straight across situation, door panel, they're easy. And Alumax is the brand that we have. They have one that looks kind of like a frameless door. It's just supported using side jambs and a bottom track. And it has, the C-pole and, gives them the look they're looking for. So right now, it seems like business has slowed up a little bit. So I'm going to take whatever I can right now. But, if we're swamped, I mean, we're going to definitely be charging for it. And we're doing removals. I charge for it.
Mhm.
I won't say $1,000, but, I have one that's going to be easy. We'll be in and out in probably 15, 20 minutes because one of my contractors it was a new tile job over a year ago and it's leaking. And so my contractor said, hey, he didn't do the work. Somebody else did. But they have a frameless in there. We're going to remove that, let him redo the pan. Of course, they have to go up the wall a little bit. Hopefully it fits. So then we're going to go back out and reinstall. So, I mean, overall, it's going to be a $600 order. It's not a ton of money, but it's doing a favor for my contractor, and it's a door panel. It won't be too hard for us to do. It's not very big either. So we do them.
So now for those of you that still do them as I do, are you most of the time doing them in 2 trips like that? You're going out on one first occasion to remove and check the possible damage to them.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Losing Ryan.
Where'd it go?
thought it might be my computer.
Nope.
It's awesome. So yeah, you have to do that in 2 trips. And fortunately, usually we're in the same areas all the time. And
Would be 3 to going out in time to install the new.
Oh, that was weird.
Ryan's frozen in time.
Yes.
yeah, I guess he's still frozen.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have that sometimes, cyberspace and all.
Well,
All right.
does anybody have any other questions or anything?
Yeah, I'm just curious what do other people do? Does Shannon, I admire you. I mean, that was a great answer. What I used to do back when I was on my own is I would just tell people, hey, I'll charge $200 to take out the old thing. I mean, if it was like a simple thing. I mean, if it got like more complicated, if it was like replacing, like big frameless enclosure with something else, another big frameless shower enclosure, might have to charge more. But I would say, yeah, it would be $200. And a lot of times that was enough to dissuade people from hiring me to do it. Like, oh, $200. Like, yeah, you could probably hire a handyman. He might do it for half that. And that was kind of really what I was going for, because it's disgusting. I mean, it is the worst part of my job. It's taking out some stinky, nasty, somebody else's, so gross, You pull it out and it's like, it's like, oh my gosh. But bring a lot of alcohol along, not just to drink either. You want some for like to clean it too. But I mean that's what what I used to do, and that would kind of help. But I kind of like Shannon's answer better. It's just like, no, hire somebody else.
Well, I also feel like those are not our ideal customers. You've got someone who has this fiberglass thing and it's been in there for who knows how long, and they've decided that they want to keep the fiberglass and pull out this nasty semi-frameless, put in another semi-frameless. I mean, our customer is the person who's remodeling and retiling and putting in frameless. I don't know why I'm going after, but Brad has a good point. When we need customers, we need customers. But otherwise, I mean, who wants those people? They're also going to say that you're, a little more expensive than Home Depot. And, how hard is it to install it themselves? Go ahead.
Yeah. And nobody's answer is the wrong answer. I mean, everybody's answer is the right answer for them, right? I mean, we're all approaching it a little bit differently. And that's what's so fun about having these conversations, is because like, sometimes I hear something completely different than what I've heard before. And it's cool. It makes me think. I see Heather is in the on the page, and she posted, and she said, we've been able to measure for a unit and leave the original until the new one comes in. And I think, that's what I always did too. I mean, although it's a little bit tricky, like you have to kind of take outside dimensions and kind of figure. I like to lay everything out to center normally when I'm doing a new installation. And when there's something in there, you can't really measure to the center. You have to, kind of measure either inside or outside, and then add or subtract, and kind of, I mean, you should be able to do that pretty accurately, but.
Now, I had an architect friend of mine come in one time and ask, what was new in shower glass, and I showed him back painted glass. So he went home and dreamed up. He had one shower in the house, corner shower. It was old, what we call work right shower enclosure, WBS.
Yeah.
And he wanted to put the back painted glass on top of the old we call it Clomar walls, the imitation marble.
Oh yeah.
And then put a frameless shower enclosure on that. And at the same time, he wanted to change all the shower valves, add a towel bar, and we had to do that. Everything had to be there to do, because that was the only shower he had in the house. So I went out, laid out, measured for the back painted glass, got that ordered, measured the shower enclosure for frameless, and everything came in and fit like a glove.
Good job. Yeah.
Talk about nerve-wracking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. I mean, especially when he changed all the shower valve locations in the wall, so all the glass had to be drilled for all that.
Wow.
That's going
Did
next.
you put
I'd
in
like to try
anneal?
that.
So you didn't use tempered glass, Tim, for
No,
the
the back
shower
painted
walls?
the back painted glass was tempered
Oh, okay.
on the shower walls.
Yeah.
But I had to measure all this with the original shower in place. And then he had a ceiling fan So when if the door swung open, it would hit the ceiling fan. Well, he was smart enough to put a, inverted radius in the corner of the door. So when you open up the door, it would clear the ceiling fan. So it was quite the interesting job. Of course, my cell phone was dead, so I couldn't take a picture, and he didn't have one. So
What?
yeah,
Well, that's like the one that got away, man.
yeah. And if he did have a cell phone, it was an old flip phone. So
I do want to clarify one thing. Yeah, I normally will go out, measure it, leave the door, and then we would go out and uninstall it and remeasure. That's what we'd normally do. This one that I have in this situation, though, doesn't make sense because they're going to retile it.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, in our area,
we might be selling them more glass. I mean, if it doesn't fit, then we're going to have to buy something.
Mhm.
because we go out to these homes out here in Seaside Highlands, and they're KB built homes, and they all have the typical corner shower and a bathtub, and they put in some funky old old frame shower enclosure, and we go out there and measure it all in place and go replace it, and they always fit.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes the bench has a notch in it, so you have to notch the glass to go over the bench.
Yeah.
And we just tell them, there's probably 3 screws holes in this wall, and there's none across the bottom, and they're fine with it. And then we also move it back because they always, they just come up and step onto the lid and do a return, so we give them more room for stuff to set too.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you guys. We're talking about semi-frameless showers. What have you guys been seeing for pricing in your area? We've seen so many price increases from the manufacturers that it's almost the same price as frameless at this point.
It is.
Yeah, we just had a price increase last week, I think. It was last week. I think they went up 15 or 20%, I think.
Wow.
It was a pretty big jump.
Yeah.
What manufacturer was that?
That's Century Shower Door, Century Bathworks out here in Jersey. And I just quoted I just gave a quote for someone. She wanted a quote on a semi-frameless bypass slider in matte black. And it ended up being, it was only like 100, 150 less than a barn door slider in matte black. And I was like, I didn't think, I mean, I knew it was going to be less. I thought it was going to be a little more than, 150. And, at that point, for another couple $100, you get, something a little sleeker looking, but it was outside their budget anyway, so we didn't get it. But I've been getting a lot of that the past couple weeks, like, the wow, glass is expensive comment, and we didn't budget for that. I priced out a 90-degree corner enclosure today. I think it came to just over $2,400, and the guy was like, we only budgeted for like $1,000, $1,200. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you.
Is that for a shower curtain?
Yeah, I mean, you could get a real nice shower curtain, get it all bedazzled up if you want, but that's about it, buddy.
Bedazzled.
Oh man.
But I've been getting a lot of that, just the underestimating, I guess, the cost of the glass. I don't know. And part of me feels like, the contractors should kind of be guiding some of these homeowners on the front end of the renovation or the remodel. Like, hey, listen, when it comes time, you're looking at, and throw a rough budget number. So, they kind of have an idea before it gets to me.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. What are you going to do?
Well, sometimes that's just their negotiating tactic.
Yeah, sure.
I just got a quote today For the semi-frameless, it's just like a single door, 20 by 70, came to 320.
Yeah.
What finish was that?
Polished chrome.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
Which
much?
is usually cheaper. 320.
So is that just a single door on a fiberglass curb?
Yep. Yep.
So do you use the curb when you do that or not? On the fiberglass curb?
Oh, you mean the aluminum curb?
Yeah. I've been doing that lately because those curbs are so flat.
Hmm.
If it's a small shower, there's gonna be water out on the floor. So I get the aluminum curb and that way you don't get any leaks.
So what is that, about 2 inches tall?
The curb?
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's only about an inch, the metal.
Is it just an inch?
I mean, it's like, yeah. I don't know if you can see that. I just put that down.
Okay. A little bit more than an inch, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're already, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, because those fiberglass curbs are flat as can be, and this way the water won't drip to the inside.
So you let them know that, I'm sure,
Oh yeah, I
in
tell them.
advance, because they'd probably freak out if you didn't.
Oh yeah, and if you pull an old one out, you can see where the water's been running out anyway.
So now I stopped doing any kind of hinging, what we call manufactured doors, semi-frameless, whatever. I stopped doing any of the hinge type few years back. So the only thing that I'll do manufactured is just sliding bypass. Because like it really is, it's gotten to the point to where I can't reduce anything by selling them as semi-frameless. It's so much more work to install one of those than it is a frameless. It's like it's a why. I mean, it doesn't. I don't know how people could do it. I mean, unless you've just got guys out there who are like really, kind of low paid and bang those things out. I don't know how you can make money on it. So now it's like I mean, if someone's got a rental or bathtub, we'll offer, like sliding bypass doors, but no hinging doors.
I did one today.
What did you do today?
I did a Euro shower from WBS. I know Timmy knows what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did one. It was a 2000 inline with the return panel. It was pretty easy. Took me about 2.5 hours. There's not a lot of people that do it around here. That do it. I'm probably the only shop that still does those. So I charge pretty good. I don't go cheap on anything. I mark up my glass, I mark it up, and I mark up my time, and they pay it, and the coating too. I mean, I make money off the coating as well. Chris is right. I mean, it takes longer. You got to take out a chop saw. You got to lay that out, cut it, walk back and forth in the house a few times, and then get done. You got to clean up all the shavings, and then siliconing is hideous because you got to get all the gaps right. You got to silicone those, make sure those are all sealed up.
Then you got to run the vinyl. Don't forget about running the vinyl.
You got to run the vinyl too. The vinyl's not too bad.
But it's just time consuming.
It is. You do one side, and then what I do, I throw the other side. I throw it inside the sink, and I spray a bunch of it with glass cleaner.
Yeah.
And I get it nice and soapy, and it goes right in pretty quick. So I had a helper today, so it made it pretty easy. I didn't do it by myself, but yeah, it turned out pretty good. I mean, it was only like $300 more. If they would have paid $300 more, they would have got a frameless.
Exactly. Right.
But they didn't want to pay the $300 extra. I'm like, okay, all right.
Well, in my area, I always tell them that the semi-frameless and the frameless are about $50 difference.
$50.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so they're like, you know what, just go frameless. So I go the frameless. But yeah, we go away with the semi-frameless or we call them stick stalls. So we
Yeah.
don't do stick stalls at all here anymore. I just
That's
let them
that's
know.
what
I just let them know.
go ahead.
No, I said I just let them know that it's a $50 or $100 difference from frameless, and then I'll give you that in there, and then they go with it anyway. So that's what I do.
You know, sometimes it's okay to do that, but you know, you see a bad tile job, and you know, instead of me passing up a job because I don't like to, because you know that job will always pay somebody's bill. I'll sell them a semi-frameless if I see a bad tile job or they got a bad curb or you know they're sloping the wrong way. I'll sell them a semi-frameless. I don't care. You know, that's how I started. I grew up doing you know semi-frameless. I did that for 10, 15 years, so I'm pretty knowledgeable. I can do them pretty quick, but yeah, I'll sell them one. Sure, I'll sell them my socks if they want to buy my socks too. You know? I don't care.
How much for your socks, man?
Let's see. I don't know. They're Dickie socks. Are pretty comfortable. I don't know. Just got them.
Charge
Holes,
extra
right?
for holes.
Brandon tried to buy them for me that one day in Vegas. Like, oh, dude, these are my socks. Leave them alone.
That's all I did before frameless came out was
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I was doing the semi-frameless and the frameless were barely getting popular. Just a simple inline was like $6,000. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? And I remember those, you know, when they're like, and I'm like, I ain't gonna sell that around here. And then all these other glass shops started doing them, and then it became a little more affordable to do it in. Yeah.
Well, I sub out if we have a stick stall, I sub it out to a guy that's what he used to do all the time, you know, because he joined this business back in the late 80s. So I mean, he did nothing but stick stalls for the longest time. So he knows how to knock them out.
Wait, Brad, you're taking out showers that are all gunky and disgusting, but you're not installing these semi-frameless?
I sub
Oh, I
that.
consider those framed because they are all framed. The stick,
Okay, well,
yeah, the stick stalls. Yeah, no, you know, there's so many parts and pieces. It take me all day going, where's this one go? And, you know, I can do any kind of frameless, but I can't do the stick stalls.
Taking them out is easy, huh? It's just putting them back in.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Shannon, I sub my I don't take any shower doors out. I sub it out to this guy that does it for me. I don't like touching that stuff. One time I lift one up and all the old water and splashed in my face. My mouth was open. I'm like, oh no. It was disgusting. I'm like, nope.
especially if you're taking a full frame door out, it's full of water.
Yeah, it's nasty. Oh yeah. So I sub those out now. I don't even do those. I sub. Someone takes it out. They'll go clean all the silicone and do all that, and I'll go back and I'll install frameless or whatever the customer wants.
So you sub out the demos.
Yes, I do. I do not touch people's nasty, gunky, disgusting body fluids. Nope, zero.
Well, something else I do, by the way.
I am kind of a germaphobe.
Yeah. I do refer, because we've got good partners that are grout guys. They refurbish the grout.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we try to do, and it happens frequently, is I tell the customer, this is a good time for you to have your grout redone, and that the grout guy will remove the shower door. He'll get all of it cleaned up. He'll have it all patched and ready to go. And we coordinate that they get that done a couple days before we do the installation. And so we do that a lot. In fact, I'm having lunch with one of my grout guys first of next week. But I call on grout guys for that reason. So if they feed me business, I'll feed them business. So it's killing several birds with one stone, right? We get more leads. They take care of most of the removals. The customer gets everything they want and you're making somebody else happy with their job. So
Yeah, and the cool thing is if you've got a handyman that you can refer for something like that, like a demo, or like we got to where when we stopped doing the stick stalls, we started just referring our handyman. I was like, hey, do you want to do these? He was like, yeah, I'm happy to do them. Great. So when somebody asked for that, we could just refer him. And then he was stoked to get the work. And then, when you need somebody to do something, they love you. I mean, they'll show up for you and do that task that you don't want to do.
So are these handymans licensed by chance? Have their own insurance?
Of course.
Of course.
Absolutely. I wouldn't do any kind of underhanded dirty dealing.
What is a license?
Yeah, right. Well, yeah. If you're doing something under $500 and in California, you don't need a license.
Yeah.
But is there such a thing? Something under $500? I don't know what it would be. Maybe if you fixing a leaky faucet or something.
Yeah, the guy that does mine for me takes them out. He's a carpet cleaner and he also does tile cleaning. So he goes and actually gets a machine out and he'll clean the tile inside and out for them and charges them. I think he charges like $400, something like that. Take it out and scrubs it all out and reseals the grout. And then I go back and I install a shower door for them. So they don't just get the removal, they get a whole treatment. He'll clean the shower pan and everything, make it look brand new. If he needs to refurbish the shower pan, like spray, clean it up, make it look white again, he does all that for me.
That's so good.
Well, and that's good for you.
It's good for
yeah. Because when you go back, you got a nice clean.
That, and he's my fishing buddy. He has a nicer boat than mine, so I go with him. So it's a nice bonus.
There you go. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about customer calls you, hey, I have a shower door here. I have to redo my tile, so I need to remove the shower door and then I need to put it back. How you guys deal with that? So how you guys charge? You guys charge 2 installs?
It never
Good
fits.
question. Good question. Who wants to take that one?
It never
I don't do
fits.
those.
Adrian says no.
No. Pass.
Who else? Who else? How about you, Tim?
You get out there and they never fit. Even though they say they put it back to exactly the way it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happened to me 2 times, so I'll always tell them it probably won't be the same thing. So we'll probably have to do a new door. But I make everything, I give heads up for the whole details.
Yeah. Good day, everyone, sir.
Well, hello there, Tunes.
Hey,
Tunes.
Tunes.
Yeah, good day, sir.
You're up late.
Yeah.
What's the matter? You can't sleep? Good to see you, my brother. Yeah, so what do you do, Tunes? What if somebody calls you and says, hey, I've got this door that came out. Will you come and put it back in?
I didn't get you, sir.
So if you have a customer who it's taken out a shower door and then they fix the tile or something, they want you to put it back in, do you do that for them?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. Yes, man. I had a feeling you'd say that. You probably don't turn down much work, huh?
Oh, I didn't get you, sir.
I'm saying you probably don't say no very often to work.
Oh, no. We do everything. We just charge.
That's right. Just charge for it.
That's it.
Nice. Good answer. Good answer.
So when we are removing a glass, when we are removing a glass, if we are fixing it back, that's another charges. Then if the glass will still work at the same position, so definitely we can still fix it back. But if the glass can't work to the position anymore, then we are getting another glass. Yes.
Yeah. You
Yep.
have to.
Hmm.
Can't cut the glass, right? It's tempered glass.
Tempered, it can't be cut.
Can't cut it. True that. True that.
I'm working on a glass here at a site where I am. We fixed a fixed glass, like a storefront. Then the owner of the glass said the owner of the site said he didn't want it anymore at that position. Do we have to remove it and keep it? I think the glass was down for a year ago. Then he asked us to come and fix it in somewhere else. So we have to reshape the surface of where we want to put it, so it can be the glass can be fixed to that position. Like
So
they
you-
use cement block. They use block to fix to make the glass fixing to that position. So they reduce the size. So the glass, we are fixing the glass back tomorrow morning.
all right.
Yeah.
So you put it in a different spot than where it came from, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So what else? What else? Anybody have a question or?
I gotta go ahead, Shannon.
You go, Brian.
I just had a quick question. We were talking about this a little bit this week and a little bit last week. When you guys give out your original quotes and send them to your customer, how much information are you providing the customer on that original quote? So what I mean by that is, are you giving them traditional clear glass as well as a low iron glass, coated, uncoated, clamps versus channel? Like, the guy I work with and myself were talking, and he was under the impression that I may be providing too much information on the front end, where I'm causing some confusion to some of my customers. And he suggested I kind of dumb it down a little bit and dial it back and just kind of give them limited options and or information, and then kind of let the questions come and answer them as they come, and kind of change the quote if necessary. So I was kind of curious as to how some of you guys did it, and like, if you found that if you provide too much information, is it kind of causing confusion and requiring you to field more questions than maybe you wouldn't necessarily have to?
I found that I know everyone's going to have their answer, but I found that the things I felt the worst about was when the customer felt I didn't share information with them that they found out later. You can always undo the other thing, but when they say, why didn't you tell me that was an option for clear or for channel, to whenever we do the rip outs, we automatically go back with channel and negate the whole frameless isn't even an option, because you're going to have this issue you're going to complain about. So here's our option for channel on your semi-frameless, or someone else can deal with all the other aspects of it. And same thing with this. We love to tell them the difference between clear and Starfire and their privacy options, and just in case, and the option between clamps and what a true frameless looks like with a quick picture, And I think if you can provide the easiest experience so that nothing you gave to them was confusing, because you're always going to find someone that's like, I don't get it, but that doesn't mean you should stop trying to educate everyone. Just figure out where their friction is and how do you modify your process to like meet them where they're at. Because some people want the link to the video, some people want the picture with just 2 options, some people want the phone call, some people want all that, and for you to show up with 2 samples. In our process, we always show up with the 2 samples anyways, but some people can get all of their decisions way ahead of time before you having to provide that briefcase. They can actually get all of that context and feel a lot less full of questions when you show up. It's more like, hey, we already talked about all this. Let me see all this. Let me hold what you were talking about. And I already did my research about what we talked about beforehand. The warranty you gave me, the warranty information about its lifetime, the difference in it and why the light matters. Thank you so much, because we decided on ultra clear for our bedroom because it matters. The other one's a guest room. Who cares? And the other people actually said, hey, we really appreciated you telling us it's well lit, because our guest room is at the end of a well lit hallway, and actually matters that everyone walks down and sees that it's super awesome. We don't want them seeing that little green tint. They're doing it for show. Other people are doing it and we don't care. What's the cheapest option? We don't care. So it's like educating them ahead of time helps them make that right decision. And then I really appreciate that we killed that whole "you never told me" or "how come y'all didn't tell me that was an option." That because I felt way worse about that than everything else, than being bombarded with info.
I agree. I think you need to give them information to protect yourself. Now, if you know there's a budget issue, don't give them much options, because then in their mind there's like, you know, they get all confused and upset they can't have the best for nothing, you know. But
I guess my question is what stage of the process you're talking about, because if you're talking about the very beginning, someone sends us plans, or they're saying, oh, how much would it be for a shower, and they're not expanding on it, then we're going to keep it pretty simple. We're going to say, okay, well, here's your size with, this color and this glass, and we can go into details. But then later on, when we've been on site, we want to have those conversations with them. So we don't have to quote a million different things unless we're on site and we're like, do you want clips or channel? Oh gosh, and you go through the whole description. I don't know. Can you do both? Okay, well, let me tell you about the glass options. Oh, I don't know. Can you do both? Okay, well, here are handles.
Yeah.
Oh God, so there are times where they can't decide on a single thing, and it's 20 choices. But when we have the conversation, then hopefully we can narrow that down and they can be a little decisive. But I will say, every single time we quote low iron or any other pattern glass or satin etch or anything, we also quote clear, just so that they know, because sometimes it really throws them for a loop. We just want them to have that kind of baseline.
Yeah. So I usually do too. I narrow down as much as possible the information for the customer. Then I give them the price for the clear, and there's an optional for the ultra clear. And always I give the optional as well for the coating. I also give like 4 different styles for handles. They usually pick like one, and I always try to, but for sure the thing is how to make that information clear and precise for the customer, right, Brian? So I don't know, maybe you need to try narrow down as much as you can on the first visit or over the phone.
Yeah, no, I do. When I
set
give my
expectations.
original quote, I give my original quote. I give everything. The thing was that the guy I work with he thought maybe I was going overboard with the information, whereas I didn't think I was. I thought I was, giving, because I was kind of giving them just a plate full and saying, here's your options. Here's what the differences are, what they look like, what they mean. you know, if any of these are, you know, so far beyond your budget and you want me to, you know, change the design a little bit or make some changes to meet your target number, let me know, and, you know, I can work with you.
Yeah,
That's kind of how
sometimes,
I go about it.
yeah, sometimes customers, they want like to feel that you know your stuff, and it's also add value to your closing. Even though like sometimes they have like a second guy, the second guy doesn't go through the whole information. They won't be like so secure with the other guy. Even if you're like 10, 15 or 20%, most of the times they're gonna be with you.
Yeah, because you're
So
thorough.
yeah,
And if you think about it too, it makes sense to give them, you know, I mean, you can give someone too much information, you know, I mean, you can overdo it. But I mean, I think when you're sitting down to quote something, that's the time to come up with all the different options. I mean, because you're doing it anyway, right? So if it takes you like 5 more minutes to give them a few options, it's way easier to do it then than to give them the quote, then have them ask you about options, then go on kind of back to the drawing board, so to speak. Because now you got to go back to that old task and like and open it back up. I mean, really, it's more efficient to do all of that at the same
To
time,
do it in the beginning,
in
yeah.
my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, we try
Yeah,
to
my opinion-
modify our pricing calculator so that it spits out all the estimate variations for us at once. So we just put in the width, height, and whatever, and then you have what are the 7 things they could want? Here's all the price options, and you pick and choose which ones you want to send them based on the context of your conversation. But that way you don't have to go and plug in all these different variables for that, which is the old process of what we had to do. We had to go through that 1,000 times before figuring out it would be cooler if we had something that could spit out all these things instead. So that was one way that we were able to shave off time there.
Okay.
Another thing,
I think-
the customers always, what I've noticed is even contractors, builders, we've heard it a lot throughout the different locations, people saying, wow, we never even knew there were these other options. And also before Austin ever started, before they ever started selling low iron and we were questioning if it was right for us, are we going to scare away people from the beginning with our estimates because we've never sent them this extra $2,000 quote before in the initial thing? How do we present it? And we realized we sold more low iron when we offered more low iron. We sold 0 when we offered 0. And just that alone, and the fact that there were so much higher margins, we said, how do we just start offering more upsells? Towel bar, the coating, like we sold more coatings only when we told them we had more coatings. And we realized like, damn, we're so scared of giving people what they want. We just, because of those people that do complain that it is too much, but there are a lot of people who this is what they want. They want a lot of what you have. And you just didn't tell them you had it and didn't tell them it was an option. You telling me there was a guard that would make it easier for me? Like why? And you could have baked it in? Like some little, there's always that teeter totter, right? You don't want to bombard people with info, but you'll never sell it if they don't know. So how do you just create your website and your customer experience to always educate them that it's available to them?
I believe having more information make you, it will make spend yourself in times of when the customer said, oh no, I don't want black handle, no, I want gold handle. But in your quote, you've already put the information that, oh, this is, I'm quoting on black handle, I'm quoting on a grid or something, you know. So I believe putting more information, it really makes sense. So it will make you to defend yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And you come across as like someone who's thorough, right? And like somebody said, I'm not sure who did, like if the other guy is not giving as much information as you are, even though your price may be a little higher, I mean, they're going to think, well, this is the guy, you know, who gave me all the info, was really thorough in the estimate. Maybe they're the people to go with.
No, when I do my quotes, when I get to the job, I'll see if it's white tile, and that's Starfire automatic. And then I'll add shower guard to it. And then I'll look at what their hardware is. And if it's square corners or radius corners, I'll do square or radius. When I send out the quote, I'll send them a sketch, and I'll send them a picture of the handle, the hinge, and the clips that I use, so they know exactly what they're getting. In the color.
Yeah.
And then they never read it.
Exactly.
I'm pretty,
Just look inside.
Yeah.
I pretty much do what you do, Timmy. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
I'll go to the house. I don't do U channel. I never offer it.
No,
I
put
I go in the bathroom. You see if they got ladder handles or pull handles for their cabinets. I put that in there.
Yeah.
If they got square hardware, shower head, okay, it's square or beveled, whatever. And then I'll talk to them. I have little samples of my low iron and clear glass, and then I have my chip samples of all the hardware colors I can get. Show them that, few pictures, and pretty much. And then Showers Online gives you an option to send a rendering to your customers. They look at it. Oh, great, that's what I want. Boom, sign it off. Boom, that's it. I'm done. There's they cannot say nothing after I send that rendering to them. If that's what they want, that's what they get. Hey, they're happy. No arguing after that. Oh, I didn't want that. Well, you signed it. Too bad, Jack.
You had a contractor sign one once, and he goes, "How come you put in clear glass?" Because that's what it said on the quote. Oh, it was supposed to be satin glass. I said, "Don't you read?"
So Brian, your coworker probably has a point with some people. I have definitely heard like psychologically that there are people who get overwhelmed with too many options and don't know what to do and don't know how to make a decision, but it's probably not the majority. And I feel like if you check back with those people, hey, did you get that? Do you have any questions? Then maybe they'll kind of start talking to you about, oh, I just don't even know which way to go, and then you can be a guide. But so he probably has a point to a small extent, but I just don't think it's the majority.
Yeah.
Now, are you sending a sketch also?
I send a digital rendering from FHC's design program.
Nice.
So they get a digital mock-up of what it looks like, and then there's a section at the bottom for notes, which I give a brief, detailed description of what it's getting. Whether it's wall mount hinges, pivot hinges, clamps, channel, the type of handle, the finish, the type of glass, the option for a different type of glass, the additional charge if they wanted the coating on it. And then the second page of that email has, all the warranties and, kind of terms and conditions type of thing. So that email goes, and then there's a text that immediately follows that says, I just sent you the email of the quote. Here's what the finished product would look like in real life. I'll send a picture of a similar design that we've done. In that finish, if I have it, which I usually do. And then kind of like Tim said, the same thing, I'll send a separate picture of the hinges, the clips, and the handle. So they have all that right there, right up front. So, it gives them a little time. And then like Shannon had said too, I'll let a day or two go by, and then I'll send a follow-up text saying, hey, just following up to see that you got the email and the text. If you have any questions, let me know. Happy to help however we can, answer any questions, and kind of do it that way. Okay. I think I'm pretty thorough.
That's pretty thorough. Yeah, I don't send them pictures of the hardware unless it is necessary for the situation, whatever that may be.
Okay.
Especially if they were particular about, let's say, handle styles and stuff like that, obviously we're going to send them all that information. But I don't send them, hinges, handles, and all that on basic quotes. But I do the sketch. So the sketch has the rough dimensions, the nominal dimensions. And if there's a header and a pivot hinge, it's, I'm using Smart Builder, which is like Shower Online, and it has all that in there. And the description of the hardware will be in there.
Okay.
We do have a special note that we made specifically that says clear glass does not mean low iron glass
That's
or
smart.
ultra clear.
Okay.
That's
And
smart.
then
Yeah.
what does happen
that.
sometimes when people do read it, they go, huh, what does that mean? And they ask us and they go, yeah, I might be interested in that, you know? So we do upsell, but when we added that, we started upselling a lot of low iron,
Mm-hmm.
and that's worked pretty well. But we made that statement because a lot of people, when they, let's say we were quoting them low iron and regular clear, and let's say they went forward and it said on the contract clear glass, they're thinking in their mind, that's the low iron glass. That's clear to them. They don't understand that clear in our industry is opposed to obscure.
Mm-hmm.
That's common.
That's why we made that statement that's automated, that clear glass is not ultra clear, low iron glass.
Now, how far into your quote or your proposal is that statement? Is it kind of
It's at the top with the
Okay.
shower door.
okay?
Yeah,
Because I think that makes a difference too, right? The placement of the
sure.
statement
I
itself.
think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Good
I
approach.
like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I'm gonna add that in. That's a great idea
No,
to kind of just put it out there. That clear, because like you said, in a lot of people's minds, the word clear in their, the mental picture they get is that picture of low iron saw on Pinterest or whatever it was, and to us it means one thing, yeah, and to them it means something else.
Yeah. Well, people say, am I going to get a hinge over here or whatever? And they're talking about a clamp. They don't know the terminology. They get befuddled and, so you have to kind of start reading what is it that they're telling us.
Right.
Read between the lines.
Exactly.
Awesome. Hey, great job, everybody. We did it.
All right.
Yay.
We had another call. Wow. Awesome.
Taco time.
Taco time.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
Anytime.
Well, thanks for showing up. I hope I see you again next week. Tell all your friends.